What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So for starters, I just want to apologize for the lack of content over the last week or so. I got taken down very hard by some sort of stomach bug or something because I spent the better portion of the last 5 days in bed just recovering and trying to get over whatever illness had made its way into my body. So I just want to thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for the support, and a few of you guys even reached out and were offering well wishes and were checking in. So you guys are the best. Truly appreciate this community. But today we have a really interesting video. We got something that we got to talk about here, especially if you're a diehard Star Wars fan like myself. And even if you're not a Star Wars fan, I think you should really listen in to what I have to say, because this topic is just really interesting from a collecting standpoint. So we are going to be talking about the huge Star Wars drop this upcoming Friday on the Funko Shop, aka Funko.com, the 750 piece Masked Starkiller Pop is dropping, and I am so excited about it. And there's even been other people who have expressed their excitement slash fear in not being able to get it. So I want to quickly break down what's happening. We're going to go over to the Funko Shop right here. If you click on the limited edition tab, Funko has actually done a great job with their limited edition drops with showing you what is upcoming. They're doing it about a month in advance with giving you the schedule for all the items that are due to release. And this upcoming Friday, here we go. Here is the Masked Starkiller. Now, if you've heard this name a bit and you're not the most attentive collector, or maybe you're not the biggest Star Wars fan, it's because we did get our first Starkiller Pop this past May the 4th. It was a GameStop exclusive. It was the unmasked version, and I thought it was fantastic. This pop right here is just showing what Funko can really do, and they have clearly taken it up several notches. This, along with the Star Wars pops that they announced at San Diego Comic-Con, have really piqued my interest with Funko Star Wars once again. So shout out to whoever is riding the ship and making Star Wars Funko exciting again. With this pop, there is a couple stimulations that I feel like some people may not know, because this is the first limited edition Star Wars piece that we are getting with this new limited edition pop system. So the first thing that may be catching your eye is the fact that this is not going to be a retail release at $15. This is tiered because it's at that 750 piece count. It's going to be $50. Now, I know that's going to scare away some people, but just keep in mind that because this is so limited, that's why Funko is charging a little bit more, and I think they have a right to do so because they are making far fewer, which is going to yield a lot less profit for them. However, at the same time, as a collector, I want to see more stuff like this, so I'm okay with paying a little bit more on the retail side with that $50 price tag. Another thing that you're going to have to do in order to get this pop, you are going to have to spend 2,000 of your fan rewards points if you want to purchase this during the window here, and that is also a lot. However, since they're doing this post San Diego Comic-Con, post Fun Days, post the Box of Fun, maybe you guys have some points that you've been saving up. And even if this isn't a pop that you want to pick up for your collection, I would highly encourage you from this point moving forward to save up your fan rewards points, because you may need them for a future release that you want to get for your collection. Now I want to talk briefly about why Starkiller is an amazing pop, and I'm really, or why this version of him is awesome, and what the character is all about. And I also find it really funny with what's going on already on the secondary market with this character. So if you guys don't know who Starkiller is, just to give you a quick rundown of his backstory. So he was actually born to two Jedi parents, so technically born into the light side, and ultimately he lost his parents very early on Kashyyyk. Darth Vader came across him and basically sensed all his Force abilities, which were already very strong even as a young child, took him because he thought that he could be a great addition to the dark side of the Force, decided to make him his apprentice. However, because Vader was already an apprentice technically to Darth Sidious, there was already that Sith rule of two in play, so Darth Vader decided to train Starkiller, aka Galen Merrick, in hiding. So that's why he is the hidden, or what some people like to refer to him as, the unknown apprentice of Vader. Now, Galen Merrick, aka Starkiller, is extremely powerful, and he did a lot of stuff for the Empire and the dark side in the shadows. Now, why this character is potentially going to be significant moving forward is because there's already been some rumors that he could be appearing in Ahsoka Season 2. So Lucasfilm and Disney apparently want to bring Starkiller into live action. They want to make him officially canon and everything, even though he's technically already canon because we briefly saw his helmet in Andor Season 1 in Luthen's apartment, or Luthen's lair, or whatever that was. So if he does show up in Ahsoka, that is just going to make the unmasked and masked version of these two pops just explode in value. And it's also going to be super cool for us Star Wars fans in Ahsoka Season 2 if we see Ahsoka fight Starkiller. Like, can you imagine, like, because Ahsoka is Anakin's apprentice, and then you have Starkiller, who is Darth Vader's apprentice, you have the two apprentices going at it. That would be just insane. And apparently Starkiller is supposed to be like a side, it's not a focal point of Ahsoka Season 2, but he is going to be a side character that they use for maybe an episode or two as one of the little arcs that Ahsoka has to deal with. So that could be crazy. But now, with all that being said, as you guys just heard me nerd out, like, that is like deep, deep Star Wars lore. We are not talking about a character that is vastly well known by any stretch of the imagination. So if you go over to the secondary market, which some people have already sent me listings to what's been happening over on eBay. Over on eBay, people have been listing this pop for sale already in the $300 to $400 range. And believe it or not, because some people have made these listings, some of these have actually already sold. We have the most recent sale here on August 5th for $325, another one for $320, another one for $350. If you are one of the people that purchased or, made a purchase through one of these listings and are the reason that these listings are now sold, I don't understand how these people can verify that they are going to be able to pick up one of these pops. This is going to sell out lightning fast. Now, maybe they have some sort of backdoor link or, some sort of bot that is going to guarantee them one of the 750 pieces, but I have no doubt that this pop will sell very well out of the gate once it's sold out. I'm sure it's going to sell out in a matter of seconds. So to see these prices is not shocking. What's shocking to me is the fact that I think most of these people just have no idea who this character is. They are solely going off of that 750 piece count on the front of the box, and that's what's justifying why they are charging so much. And I could actually see this pop coming down significantly if there is no Ahsoka Season 2 appearance, if there is really nothing that's going to happen with this character, because the only few people that are going to actually want this pop for their collection are people like me who are diehard Star Wars fans who understand who this character is, and those of you guys who don't necessarily care about this character, there is already a cheaper one available. So if you don't care about his helmet, if you don't care about the 750 pieces, you can go pick up the mass version for like $20 at GameStop or on GameStop's website. So I see this one crashing in value pretty hard unless the resellers band together and just refuse to let this go for over, $250 or so. Like, they're not letting it go unless they get that $300 threshold. So we will see what happens on Friday, but I can guarantee you this is going to sell out very quickly. Now, I could also be wrong in the fact that it may not come down a lot in price, because what else I wanted to do in this video here is briefly take a look at the other limited edition piece pops that have sold through this new tiered system and see how they're trending on the aftermarket, because surprisingly, a lot of these are holding their value. So going back to the Genya Metallic that released a while back, this was 1,200 pieces. This one is currently trending for $220. That was a Demon Slayer pop. Next up, we have the Strawberry Shortcake. She sold for $50, 750 pieces, so same exact specs as the Starkiller here. She is currently trending for $140, and that's kind of what I expect to see here with the Masked Starkiller, especially since there's already the unmasked one. I really see this one settling out at $100 to $150. So if you don't get this on the drop, like, that is what I think you should expect to pay in the next 3 to 6 months. Next up, we had the Blacklight Mumra. This was 3,500 pieces. This one is currently trending for $55. This one's a little bit surprising because I wouldn't expect it to be as high as it is, just because it seems like Blacklight hype is pretty low these days. Next up, we had the Diamond Cinema Roll. She was a $20 retail, and she's trending for $33. That's pretty expected. I mean, there was 7,500 pieces. 7,500 pieces is a lot. Next up, we had the Deadpool as Cthulhu Glow. limited to 750 pieces, $50 threshold, just like the Masked Starkiller here. This one is going for a lot. This one's going for 190. I think this one is a little bit higher than the Strawberry Shortcake just because Deadpool is a little bit more of a popular character. That glow is pretty crazy. I have not seen that glow in person, but I've heard it's pretty awesome. I am not going to talk about the Optimus Prime Jumbo-chan because I'm just going to focus here on the 4-inch pops. I don't really think that this one falls into what we're looking at here just because it's not a pop. Then we had the $20 Spider-Gwen Deco. This was 7,500 pieces. I thought this was really lazy and kind of lame, but she's going for $35. You know, that's about what I would expect. Then we had the Miles Morales Deco, 7,500 pieces, dropped the same day, going for about $39, probably around the same price as Gwen. Then we had the City Hunter Sliced Arm. This was the Predator 2 pop. It was 3,500 pieces, $30 threshold here, and it's going for $50, so nothing crazy there. But you can see all of these are trending for more than retail, which is expected. They are limited edition, of course, and they did sell out. 5,000 piece Hawkgirl from the new Superman movie. She was $25, and she is currently going for $55. I feel like she's going a little bit higher just because of the success of the Superman movie, and it's actually a really nice mold. I love the way they did that. That is one that I tried to pick up, wasn't able to. I am going to need to find one at some point for my collection. Next up, we have the Justice League sketched black and white Superman comic cover here. This was $50, 750 pieces, currently trending for $185. I understand why that one's going for higher because, once again, we just had the Superman movie. This is a little bit more of a unique item that Funko released with it being a comic cover, not a regular pop. They have made some beautiful DC comic covers, so this is definitely what you would consider the grail or holy grail of the comic covers that Funko has released. Then we have the Dunharrow King Glow. This was 9,500 pieces, only $20 retail, and it's going for $65. Now, this one I'm not surprised, just with that green glow, it looks really good. And also, Lord of the Rings fans and collectors go pretty hard, so I'm not surprised that that one is trending for more than triple its retail price. And then the last one here, the glow-in-the-dark Force Ghost Blue Snow White. She was $25 retail, 5,000 piece. I'm actually shocked this one sold out, but it did, trending for $41. And, you know, it's a Disney princess, so I guess, you know, Disney princesses do very well on their own as is. And then, of course, we talked about Starkiller. We do have the Translucent Chaos from the Sonic the Hedgehog line coming on the 22nd. And then on the 29th, we have the Fireball Jitsu Itachi Uchiha from Naruto. So if you're interested in that, that is going to be 5,000 pieces. But that is a quick rundown of all of the limited edition pops. Once again, I am very excited for the Masked Starkiller pop. I'm hoping to get one. I don't have my hopes up too high just because I know a lot of people are going to be seeing this as an opportunity to flip. I mean, even if you can pick something up at $50, flip it for $300 after fees, you're still walking away with at least $200 clean. So Funko has found a little bit of a strategy here that is working to their advantage, and I really hope that they continue to lean into this. I just hope that they don't use this new avenue for limited pieces as their way to give us their most creative or best pops. Like, still keep giving us good figures as regular releases, keep giving us good figures through the Comic-Con catalogs, keep giving us good figures and molds through the NFTs. Like, use this to supplement and add to your already great figure lineup. Don't use this now because it's working and because it's selling out and because you can charge those higher prices. Don't use it as a justification to say, all right, well, everything cool and creative is going to be through the limited edition piece program, and then everything else is just going to be head swaps and lazy molds and color variants that are just super easy to make. So you guys will have to let me know, what do you think of the limited edition pop program so far? Are you excited for Starkiller? If you're a Star Wars fan, are you going to be picking this up? I just find it laughable that the flippers are already charging these high prices, and it's not even like a super popular Star Wars character. But this is exactly what I want to see from Funko. I'm just really, really crossing my fingers that I can grab one for my collection. But since this is the first video of the week, it's Wednesday, I'm going to give you guys a little midweek, I was going to say Monday motivation, but midweek motivation here, since this is the first piece of content here on the channel this week. But for today's weekly Monday motivation, I always say Monday motivation, but for our weekly motivation, I just want to briefly talk about how important it is to give yourselves a financial readiness check-in. And I think this is actually a perfect time through the year here. We're in August. We're coming off of a pretty heavy June with the Box of Fun that dropped and Fun Days. And then last month we just had San Diego Comic-Con and all those releases from all the different companies and everything. So I think it's really apparent, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you make, if you have a six-figure job or if you're working minimum wage and you're paycheck to paycheck, sit down and give yourself a financial readiness check-in. Get out a notebook, pad and paper, sit down. How are you doing with your finances? Because we are getting ready to transition in a little less than a month to back to school, back to college, and I think it's going to get very busy again. So with these last few weeks here in summer, I think it's important to assess your own finances. See how you're doing. Are you meeting your savings goals? Are you slipping a little bit more into debt and you don't want to do that? Are you racking up some credit card bills that you're not really happy about? It's in the back of your mind, but it's eating at you and you just haven't made payments in a while. I think it's really important that we sit down and we do this, so that way, if we give ourselves these little check-ins throughout the year, we are not overwhelmed come holiday shopping season where we want to buy and we want to do all this stuff for other people, but we haven't been, practicing good financial steps throughout the year for ourselves. So come holiday season and we're very happy and we've made it through another year and we want to reward ourselves and we want to give to others and we want to spread joy and everything, that you're not putting yourself in an even worse position. So then come January, February, when it's New Year's resolution time and everybody's like, man, I really need to put myself in a better financial position this year. So you don't have to climb up this mountain. It can just be a little hill here and there that's easy to conquer. So I would highly encourage you guys to do that. I also encourage you guys to do this now because New York Comic-Con is right around the corner and you want to make sure that you're in a position to where if there's something that drops, you do want to you are able to pick it up for your collection. So nobody's perfect. We can always improve our financial skills and everything. There's always things that we can learn from one another. But I just want to make sure that you guys are always in your best financial position, so that way you can treat yourself and you can pick something up for your collection and enjoy it. And instead of, oh, I just bought this and it's now a burden and I have to figure out how to pay it back and it's on my credit card and it's racking up interest. We don't want any of that. I want you guys to be as financially savvy as possible. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm super excited for Friday, but as always, don't stop shooting until you score.